One notable alteration to the Hugh Howey books is introduced in Silo Season 2, Episode 2, which may eliminate a key narrative from Juliette's initial arc. Apple TV Plus's Silo hasn't hesitated to create its own personality by adding a lot of unique components, even if it remains fairly true to its original content. For example, Season 1 of Silo shifts the tone of its source entirely, rather than relying exclusively on its sci-fi concepts. In addition to introducing a few new characters, the first episode of the sci-fi series for Apple TV Plus also modifies the storylines of other well-known characters. Silo Season 2 appears to be moving further away from the Hugh Howey Silo novels in just the first 2 episodes. Even though the program still uses a lot of the original characters and plot points, it has already made minor narrative adjustments that could have a big impact on upcoming episodes. The shared story between Juliette and Bernard is the subject of one of these variations, which is heavily influenced by Silo 18's political climate. Bernard appears to be unaware of Juliette's relationship with Lucas in Hugh Howey's first Silo novel, Wool. Because of this, he confides in Lucas and trains him to be his successor shortly after Juliette exits Silo 18 and enters a nearby vault. Lucas becomes Bernard's shadow, then feigns loyalty to him. But when Bernard isn't there, Lucas speaks to Juliette in private. He briefs Juliette on everything Bernard reveals with him, in addition to informing her of the impending insurrection in Silo 18. In the original Hugh Howey Silo novels, Lucas's traitorous position is an important plot point because it enables Juliette to devise a well-considered strategy to save her people before it's too late. Although it never went too far, Silo Season 1 first alluded to possible romantic developments between Juliette and Lucas. In contrast, the novels imply that Lucas and Juliette fall in love when he betrays Bernard and reaches out to her via Silo 18. With its early story developments, Apple TV Plus Silo appeared to be moving in the same direction as the original books. It showed how Lucas was progressively becoming closer to Juliette despite working in IT. But when Lucas declined to assist Juliette in accessing the hard disk she had purchased from George Wilkins near the end of Silo Season 1, things took a different turn. When Bernard found out about Lucas's contact with Juliette and sent him to the mines as a punishment, the program further deviated from the original. The fact that Juliette and Bernard no longer have faith in Lucas makes it seem doubtful that the show will stick to Wool's story. Bernard probably won't trust Lucas enough to have him work in IT again after sending him to the mines, much less designate him as his shadow. It is difficult to see why Juliette would want to speak with Lucas after he declined to assist in the conclusion of Silo Season 1, even if he were to obtain sensitive information about Silo 18 that would be helpful to her. In the second episode of Silo Season 2, Bernard decides that Judge Meadows will be his shadow. To his dismay, Meadows appears to have other ideas though, as she wants to depart Silo 18 and obtain the thermal tape that was put on Juliette's suit. Sims is the only other person Bernard can trust in Silo 18, therefore if she escapes, he will have to designate him as a shadow. Since Sims is already beginning to doubt the strict structure and beliefs Bernard maintains, he may eventually turn against Bernard and assist Juliette, much like Lucas did in the original novels. Nevertheless, the show does not allow for romantic advances between Juliette and Sims. It also doesn't seem likely that Season 2 will advance Lucas's romance story with Juliette, given that he has been entirely removed from the picture since the conclusion of Silo Season 1. Although Silo Season 2 seems to be avoiding a romance plotline involving Juliette and any of the male characters, it may still be moving in the same path as Hugh Howey's Wool.